Hello and welcome to How I Failed in Business, the podcast where failure isn't the end of the story, it's the start of a better one. I'm Rob Spence.
And I'm Megan Grace. Each week we sit down with entrepreneurs, creators and business owners who've hit the wall, fallen hard and still lived to tell the tale.
We're here to talk about everything from the massive flops to the quiet disasters to the absolute head in hands moments. We get into all of it.
Because it's not about what goes wrong, it's about what comes next. The stuff you learn, what you do differently and how you actually survive it.
That was a nice intro.
Thank you.
Do you know why it was a nice intro, Megan?
Why?
Because you didn't slag me off
I
once
know.
within it.
I was feeling nice.
Really? That's nice. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Is it because you're in a good mood because of the news yesterday?
The emotional reaction I had to that was not healthy.
Like,
I
Did you
genuinely,
cry?
I didn't cry.
Okay.
I like screamed. I can't lie.
Did you?
Yeah, and I was all by myself as well. So it's just me screaming by myself. And I was like, what? But
So
easy.
at the time of recording, it was announced just yesterday that Taylor Swift has got engaged.
I know.
I know. Are you happy about the situation?
I have mixed feelings.
Oh,
Because happy for her,
yeah.
slay. I'm not. I want more sad songs. I feel like we've not had enough.
You want the heartbreaks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm from like.
All I'm going to say.
I don't want to make it about me, but like I need more.
Hold on.
I need
What?
more sad albums.
Everything is supposed to be about you, Megan, according to you.
That's incredibly
So-
rude. I've never once said that in my life. I'm just.
But she's been married before,
What?
hasn't she? She was married to Joe, wasn't she?
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was.
No, she wasn't.
Molly, can we
She was
fact check
not.
this, please?
It was rumoured. She was never confirmed.
She was married to Joe. I'm convinced she was married to Joe.
No, the whole point was that they were together for so long and he never proposed. That's
Really?
the whole point.
Oh.
Have you listened to like?
No, clearly not.
You've clearly not been listening. No.
Molly behind the scenes is doing a little fact check for me here.
She was not married to
I'm
Joe.
convinced they were married.
She was not married to Joe.
Well, we can safely say that she has never been married or divorced.
Thank you.
I'm wrong.
Fake fan. Fake fan.
But look at this amateur. But welcome to the How I Failed in Business podcast, not the Taylor Swift
We
podcast.
spend most of the time talking about Taylor Swift anyway.
We do half the time. But let's ask our guests in the studio today. We've got a wonderful guest, Vanisha Patel, who is a social media marketer. Vanisha, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thanks for joining. Are you? Oh, a bit of a delay on the smoke, which I'd completely forgot was going to happen.
You kind of didn't wait, so I didn't know.
So do we stop? Do we pause?
No. So, that completely threw me. We should have checked. You've not got like asthma or any sort of
I can
like
believe that.
lung. Are you going to be? It normally sets Megan off, so hopefully we've got to
I think I'll be okay.
keep an eye on her. But thanks for joining us. A quick question: are you a Swiftie?
I'm not.
Yeah. Right, that was a short podcast.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode.
Are you not a fan at all?
No, I don't mind her, but I just feel
Yeah.
like I'm not a bigger fan that like friends and other people
Yeah.
I know. But not against her. Like
No,
I like the
no.
music, but just not a big. Yeah.
Some people are like really into her, like massively. They know whether she's been married or not, and all sorts.
That's not like a hard fact to know.
No, I just
It's
always thought she'd been
really-
married.
No.
Up it. But there's kind of two strings to your bow, isn't there, Vanisha? And I want to kind of focus on one first, and then we'll focus on the other half, because it sounds like the other half is going to expand more moving forward. So we had a discussion just off the camera about what it is you actually do. We had to opt with social media marketer, but there's so much more that you do, isn't there? Tell us a bit about you. Tell us a bit about what you do for people.
So I've been in business for 9 years now, and it's grown, it's evolved, it's changed so much over the years. So initially it started with working as a virtual assistant, but from doing that I did social media training, social media workshops, evolved into social media management. I've spoken at like retreats, podcasts, delivered social media trainings, and like we were discussing before, there's so many things associated with social media. So yes, I support on like the marketing side, creating content, but it's the strategic side, like knowing exactly what type of content that is. So yeah, I feel like there's just so much.
And it's crazy, isn't it? Because I remember when I started the agency, and before I was working as a sales and marketing manager, so I was doing a bit of sales, but also social media marketing. The way in which social media marketing was done back then to now is completely different. Like even so now, obviously one of the biggest things for social media is, as you well know, is short form content and filming in portrait. back when back in the day, 7 years ago, when I was also a sales director for a videography company, filming in portrait was a big no. You filmed in landscape because that's where the content went out. Have you seen a lot of change in social media then over the past 9 years in business?
Especially with the short form content, with the different trends, things that are happening, like it's constantly evolving and changing. And even going back to like the simple days of like Instagram, where it's just like a pretty photo, like 3 or 4 photos, and that was it. And now you compare to it now, and it's like how much it has grown, like, and just changed.
What's been sort of like I don't know, I might be putting you on the spot here. For the clients you work with and the clients you represent, what's been sort of like the best change in social media over the past 9 years? Would you say this sort of like benefited a lot of your clients? I might be asking a lot of you there, maybe, I don't know.
I think it's video content, like just the way that it's evolved and the way that you can share your story as well as talking about your business. Like you said, there's short form content, there's long form content, but just how it's evolved, the different tools that you can use to actually share your message, talk about your business in a creative and fun way.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're a social media marketer. Sorry, I don't know where my mind went then. I mean, have you noticed like change in how you've perceived social media from being sort of like a user a couple of years ago to like now being an implementer, I guess? Have you noticed a change? Or
I guess so. I try to think of it like when I'm like making content, like what would I watch? Like what would I stop and actually watch? And then trying to think about it that way.
Yeah.
I guess. Rather than just making like, oh, this is funny. Or like, oh, I think this is like relevant. Like what's actually going to make me, like someone else actually stop and watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that makes sense.
And it's so hard to keep up at times, because I remember when, I don't know if I'm sure you'd remember as well, when TikTok was started to really come about just before around COVID, when it changed from Musical.ly. And I remember us having long discussions. I bet you were active on Musical.ly.
I have my old account. One of my friends found it the other day.
Molly,
it's not getting
can we do some research right now?
No, I think the account's private, but one of my friends still followed it. It's because it's obviously still on TikTok, but it's like 13-year-old me lip syncing to songs that like 13-year-old should not be lip syncing to.
Can we find this? We need to find this right away.
I don't know. My friend just found it.
Message all her friends. We follow them on How I Found in
You'll
Business.
follow my friend.
You will find that content.
Absolutely. But like we were having conversations in the office, like, is TikTok, we thought, is TikTok going to die? Is it just going to be a little trend? Is it going to be a little fad? Everyone did the little dances on there, in particular the
in COVID as well, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't remember the name of the song.
I didn't even know it. I don't know the lyrics.
No,
That
was it was lovely though.
I know. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. As long as it's,
it's
I don't remember that one.
Okay.
But yeah, like no, we didn't jump on it too quick, because we thought it was just going to be a fad. We thought it was going to come and go, because there have been fads come and go, especially with social media. Threads from Instagram came and vanished, although it's still there. It's hit the fall. What was that other one? There was another one. Do you remember? Was it Rooms? It was just like an audio only led social media. Was it called Rooms?
I forgot what it's called.
Was it Playhouse?
Clubhouse.
Never heard of
that. That came around COVID, I think. That came like honestly. A bat out of hell. Clubhouse happened. If you're an entrepreneur, you had to be on Clubhouse, and within a couple of months, it vanished again. Might still be there potentially, but it changes so quick. I do want to dive in a bit deeper about your career and especially around the social media. But can we play our first game? Is that all right with you?
Of course.
Amazing. So we're going to play our first game called Mystery Mishaps. Now that's where you get to go on the coveted Taylor Swift time tracker, the TTT. So this is the leaderboard of all the guests that we've had on the podcast, and you are now going to get involved. Okay, are you very competitive? You look a bit awestruck or shell-shocked, maybe eyeing up the competition. So the game is really simple. In a moment, Megan will provide you 5 clues. Okay, and those 5 clues allude to a business, a brand, a company, a product, or a service that either has gone bust or faced hardship or made a big mistake, okay? You've just got to guess what company, what brand, what product it is in the shortest amount of time possible, okay? So we will time you. We've had Rosanna is still leading the way on 7.9 seconds. Wow. Very rapid. Yeah. Molly, there was no cheating, I promise, is at second at 11. and Jamie from My Path is at 17 seconds. At the very rear, we've got Anthony Hutton, the 2005 Big Brother winner, at 2 minutes 50. I mean, can you see yourself going anywhere in particular there?
Maybe towards like the middle. I don't know, like
Middle.
30 to 45.
That's fair,
Yeah.
right.
So-
All we'll do is we'll take a very little sneaky photo of you, and then Megan will start asking you the questions. Are you comfortable?
I think so.
Right, big smile. Beautiful. Right, Megan, over to you.
Okay. Are you ready?
I think so. I'm
Yeah?
nervous now.
Don't be. 3, 2, 1. This brand dominated its industry for decades until it started losing ground to its rival. Shout out anything. This company made a drastic product change in the mid-80s. Thousands of complaints poured in, and some customers even began stockpiling the original version. Oh, I think I've made this really hard.
Can change that original version to original taste?
Original taste, there we go. Thousands of complaints poured in, and some customers even began stockpiling the original taste. Less than 3 months after the change, the company made a rare and very public U-turn, reintroducing the new product under a slightly new name.
No, still mind blank?
No.
She's made this one
I've-
solid, to be
No,
fair.
do you guys know what it is? Like
Yeah. You'll kick yourself when you...
I feel like
yeah.
I am going to kick. Like, do you know when you overthink it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The brand's red and white identity is instantly recognizable around the world and one of the most famous.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah,
Stop
I
the
wouldn't-
time. Stop the time.
Sorry, that took so long.
That's
Like,
okay.
I
In
was
your-
thinking when it was taste. I was thinking, is it a drink? Is it a? But I didn't.
In your defence, Megan made that impossible.
And in my defense,
Can I go at the
last
top
time- in my defense, last time I made one of these, I'm like, that's so easy. That's way too easy. And I spent like half an hour trying to make it more hard. So this time I thought, you know what?
Just, yeah.
I thought there
all-
was some
we're all-
clues.
yeah.
Thousands of complaints poured.
Yeah.
In.
Oh, well, you didn't...
Drink. Pour.
Yeah, I understand. I understand the concept, but you didn't really like...
I'm sorry.
You didn't
Okay,
s-
we'll give like 5 seconds back.
Right, okay, I think that's fair. 5 second leeway. So whatever the
Let me
time
take
is.
5
Yeah.
seconds
Take
off.
5
Yeah, minus
seconds
5
off.
seconds. I feel
Yeah.
really bad. I'm really
Have
sorry.
we got a pen to write down the time? Yep. All right, what was the time, Molly? Oh, God.
With the 5-second deduction,
Yeah.
1 minute
Okay, respectable.
Still better than me.
and 7 seconds.
Ooh.
1 minute 7. Well done.
You are still in the middle.
There you are. So
technically.
you said about the middle. So actually,
Above Pete.
you're above Pete, just a little bit below Laura. Might need to rejig these around a
Yeah.
little bit. But that's a really respectable
Yeah.
score. I think you should be really proud of yourself. Well
Yeah.
done.
Thank
Well done.
you.
That's great. That's great. So we'll get you on the TTT in due course, but well done. Well done. So coming back to your career in social media then, you know, has there been sort of any major big achievements over the past 9 years that have sort of really stuck in mind at all?
I think just being invited to different places to go and speak. Lake District was a really incredible opportunity. So I've done a lot of retreats.
Oh, okay.
And I think even prior to that, like actually doing public speaking, because I was one of those at school that would hate putting my hand up and just hiding at the back of the class. So just being able to, like, for example, be here and actually do public speaking, that's like a huge achievement in itself.
And what was the catalyst for change there? How did you overcome that sort of, would I be right in saying fear, or is that too strong of a word?
I think
do
it
you
was
think?
fear, yeah. I think I just did it. Like, and sometimes, you know, when you're just like caught up in your own head and it's the actual doing the things and showing up and actually seeing that it's not too bad.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I think sometimes that's the thing, just jumping in and
Yeah.
doing it. Like Megan joined us as a co-host on the podcast, like 6 months ago now.
I've only been here for 4 months. So I don't
Okay,
think
so three
About
months
3
ago.
months ago.
3 months ago. Seems like a lifetime.
Is
Yeah.
that a good thing?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
But like, would you say that like you were quite nervous at the start?
Compared to my first episode, which no one should go and rewatch
Oh,
because
you
it's
should.
let's go and rewatch it.
awful.
Please do.
It's so bad. I literally sit there and I don't say anything. Like, you're actually trying to work so hard just to get me to say something. I'm like, yeah, I don't really know. Like, that was literally the whole episode.
Was it really? I'll have to rewatch it, I
really-
think.
Maybe it's worse in my head.
Maybe.
But yeah, I just said nothing and I was so nervous. And now I'm like,
But the fact that you did it, that's a huge achievement in itself. Like,
and as well, like when Rob came down, he was like, when he was like saying, "Oh, do you want to be the co-host?" He just came down. He was like, "I'm gonna drop a bomb," and then he just said, "Would you like to be the co-host?" Didn't really give me much of a choice, like at all, really. And I was like, I didn't want to do it. I can't lie. I actually didn't want to.
No,
I actually didn't. I was
Serious?
like, I mean, I did. Obviously, I did want to, but I was really nervous, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. And this was back when I thought it was going to be like a business podcast. And obviously it's really, really not. It's
no, we talk more about Taylor Swift
yeah,
than
it's
business.
just chatting like who knows what. But I was like, I don't know anything about business. Like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did put a lot of pressure on you, to be fair.
You
Literally,
just-
she'd been in the
yeah.
business 2 or 3 weeks,
Literally,
maybe.
I was so new.
Yeah. But look at you now.
Yeah.
well done.
You're now flourishing,
Yeah.
cooking off marshmallows. What more? What more could we ask for?
Exactly. But
So-
it is.
Because you both said something very similar, sort of like just being in your own head a little bit. How did you overcome that then? How did you kind of get out of your own head?
I think I just did it.
Yeah.
Like, the more that you think about something, I feel as though we spend so much time actually thinking about it without just doing it. Like, I left my full-time job in 2016.
Wow.
And it's one of the best things that I did. But it's actually going back to that. And as I was listening to you, it's when I was, that year, I think I did 4 holidays and I was in Thailand, and I thought, I just can't do it anymore. Like, just like, I loved like the idea of like working, but working for myself. And again, it was being in my own head. But when I was on holiday, I thought, I just want to do more of this, just have that sort of the time, the balance. And I think when I made that decision, it's like, that's when everything else just like kind of fell into place.
Definitely. You just got to do it sometimes.
Yeah.
And that, I was just going to ask, but you kind of answered the question. Did you have that same fear when you were leaving your job, when you were leaving employment and going in? Because going into self-employment of any variety is a scary, scary thing. How did you overcome that?
I think I was just unhappy. Like, I was just not unhappy. I think I just knew I was capable of so much more. And I think it was just the idea of like the excitement of what I can actually do, just having all of that time. And it was sad. I remember that final day, like being sad, but that same day, actually, I did half a day at work and I flew off to Zimbabwe, which is where my dad is from.
Right.
So even though I was sad, I was more excited. So it's that other side that got me more excited and motivated for that next step.
Yeah, I love that. And sometimes you need that little push, that little motivation, that little sort of thing to remind you that the world is a bigger place. I think I say it so many times. I think sometimes you get so channeled into where you are now. You need that helicopter view a little bit more to kind of step back and go, there's a big wide world out there a little bit.
Yeah. And I think we find ourselves comparing to so many people. And I used to do that for years because I went to university, never finished my degree. And I thought, that's the thing. Like, everyone goes to college, do their A-levels, get a degree. But I didn't enjoy it. Like, I absolutely hated it. So when I decided to actually leave my job, I think I lied to family for months. Because then they think, oh, that Vanisha's left her full-time job. What is she doing? So I didn't actually tell them because I was still sort of figuring it out along the way.
Yeah, and that's something I'd certainly want to explore with you, because we did chat off mic about entry levels into business, entry levels into work and degrees. We're talking about T levels, apprenticeships. But we're going to take a very short break and then we'll jump straight back into that. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a second. Megan, what are you doing?
Well, since I started using Xero accounting software, turns out I have more money in the business than I ever thought I did.
I'm so glad you're using Xero accounting software, like I do.
Wow.
I love the fact that I can look after all of my accounts in the cloud at the click of a few buttons. I love the fact I can invoice clients. I know I can run profit and loss reports at the click of a button. And I even use Xero to look after my payroll.
That's so cool.
Isn't it just?
And as a thank you to all of our How I Failed in Business listeners, you can get 90% off for 4 months.
That is an incredible offer. Where is the link where people can get this great access to Xero?
Well, just below in the show notes.
Lovely. Well, welcome back to How I Failed in Business, joined by myself, Rob Spence, and of course, Megan Grace. And we are joined by Vanisha Patel. And we were just speaking before the break about your sort of entry point, your degree, and sort of stepping away from that degree and so on. You were telling me off camera that you spent more time eating sandwiches. Is that right, in the lectures? Did I understand that correctly?
I did.
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
No judgment here. No judgment.
No, I did. And the reason why I did that is because I did law at university, and it's something that I didn't speak about for years because I hated it. Like, I did psychology at college, and I was one of those that had no idea what I wanted to do. So I thought, okay, do law. And me and one of my friends, like, it started off okay, I think. But then it got to the point where we never met like our seminar group. So instead, we used to go to lectures, literally eating sandwiches, taking all the notes, but just never meeting our seminar group. Like, I don't know if any of them will ever listen to this, but hi. And I was just really, really nervous and scared. And I think because of the fact that I didn't enjoy it, like, I just couldn't face myself to like go in, and I just never ended up finishing it. And that was like, in my head, a huge failure because I didn't finish my degree. But now I know that it's not something that I necessarily needed to do because it's nothing to do with what I'm doing now, like in my life, in my business.
Yeah. I was going to ask, do you think that the sort of stepping away from that and change and pivoting slightly, has that hindered your career at any point, or if anything benefited, do you think? Or
No.
The only reason I ask, so many people ask me, especially owning a business, they always assume that I've got a degree, or I've done this, that, and that. The only letters that I've got against my name are GCSE. That's all I've. Rob Spence GCSE. That's all I've got. But there's so many entry points to business and so on. You mentioned earlier as well, I think just before the break, I think you mentioned keeping it quiet from your family. Is that right? Can we explore that a little bit more? Why did you think you needed to do that?
I just felt ashamed, like the fact that, one, I haven't finished my degree, and two, that I left my job. Like, oh, what is she doing? Like, shouldn't she be doing like X, Y, and Z, or having like a job as an accountant or lawyer, or whatever they want to do. And I think it's just that sort of comparing myself and actually feeling really embarrassed. But looking back, it's one of the best things that I did, because 2016, my sister always says, oh, that's the year that you left your full-time job. I did my holidays. But that's when I really found like my feet and started to discover what I wanted to do and how much I could give.
Yeah, it's funny how much pressure we feel from like
Absolutely.
outside influence. Have you ever been through that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I went to uni for 3 months, and like, I was like in the same thing. Like, I never wanted to go. I just went because that's what I thought you did. Like, all my friends are going off to uni. I was like, yeah. And I did the same. I went to my lectures sometimes. Never went to a seminar class because I was scared I was going to get like picked on and I wouldn't know the answers because I wasn't really interested in it. And then I dropped out after 3 months, and again I was like,
what did you study?
I did creative writing, but it was much more like the technical, like English language side. Like, this is a verb, this is a noun. I was like, and so yeah, I just think like when I like dropped out, like I didn't tell any of my friends. Like, my parents knew because I've had to move back home, but I didn't tell any of my friends for ages. And like, I saw on like this is why like social media was like a massive thing in it, because I would see them like posting like their lives at uni and their lectures or like freshers and going out and stuff, and I was just like, I've just left all of that, and it felt like really scary. But then like, I wouldn't be here now if I'd have stayed. Like, I'd already just graduated, probably wouldn't have wanted to do anything with it really. So yeah, I don't know what I was talking. I don't know what the point of that was.
But no, I think,
just, yeah,
because I do think that, I think it's changing now. There was always a push, especially when I was at college, and I know we went to the same one, that it was just like, you do A-levels, then you go to university. Because I remember they must have taken me on about 3 or 4 university tours. We went to like Bath University and God knows where else. But I was never interested in university. I never once interested in it. Because I was like, I don't want to spend a quarter of my life in education. I want to get out there and explore the world. Exactly. But then I did do a short stint at DMU. So when I was training to join the police, they do their training they used to do it at DMU. So I was technically a student at DMU. And that was quite an interesting insight into it. But I'm still glad that I never went to university, because I think I would have just died of boredom or just got really drunk.
I did that.
Yeah.
The uni life was great. I don't regret any of that. But
yeah.
There was this girl, I'm not going to obviously name her name, like at like college, and she was like really smart. Like, she got like all 9s, everything. Like, was this like there was a whole thing, like, everyone who has like the smartest kid in the school, and like there was so much pressure on her. The school was saying to her, like, you need to go to like Oxford, you need to go here, you need to do this, like you should study this, this and this. She just wanted to do art. Like she was sick at drawing. She was so good. And then when it got to A levels and they were basically telling her like what you need to go to and what to study and all of this, and she had like a breakdown, and she just like, she didn't even finish. I don't think she did her A levels. Like she just completely like had a breakdown because of all this pressure that was on her.
That's such a shame.
I
That's
know,
horrible.
but it's like the education system as well, like put so much pressure on it, and like going to university and getting all of that. But do you need it?
Yeah.
You don't, like,
I
don't
don't
need it. You don't need it.
I personally don't think you do.
No.
You know, I've hired people with degrees, I've hired people without degrees, and actually sometimes those without degrees, if I'm honest, sometimes do a bit of a better job because they've not been wired to do a singular job that their lecturers have told them to do things. They've got a bit more of a freedom of trying without going, I've got to do because this is the linear path that university is telling me to do. If anyone was sort of sat, you know, they're considering their options, you know, and they were kind of sat as you were, you know, years ago, what advice would you give to them about sort of making sort of choices around university?
I think one of the biggest one is just doing what you enjoy. Because if they've already got it planned out, like I want to be a doctor, I want to be a police officer, do that because that's what genuinely lights them up. That's what they're passionate about. And I found that like I was very active on social media telling a story, and the fact that I get to do that even now for work, it fills me with so much joy like 9 years on. So if that's something you really enjoy, go to university, do all of that, but just do what you enjoy and what, you know, what's going to make you happy and fulfilled as well.
Yeah, like some people like have a clear path and they know they want to go to uni and then they want to study, and that's great, then do it. But if you don't feel pressured to go and do something you're not going to enjoy.
Exactly.
No, I think life's too short, isn't it? And I think one thing that we're always like misconstrued to when we grow up is that you pick your career and that's it for life. And I don't know about you, I don't know about you two, but like my career's change. I've finally found what I love doing, but there's even like macro changes in that, what I'm doing, if that makes sense. But like, if you'd have asked me when I was 10, 15, 20, what I want to do when I'm older, I haven't got a clue. Like, have you been through the same? Like,
and I think there is that pressure that, oh, when you're that years old, you need to know what you want to be doing, what you want to study. But I think it's giving people permission to say, it's okay to change. Like whatever job you're in, say you're 25, you're 30, you're not enjoying it, it's okay. Like you can take a step back because you'd rather spend the next 10 years doing something you genuinely enjoy rather than doing something that you absolutely hate.
Absolutely. And speaking of change, you're slowly pivoting your business. You're nearly 10 years in business and there's a pivot coming along. You're sort of getting into more online operations management. Did I say that all correctly? Because I know we were sat outside like, how do we name this? So how's that pivot going? How's that going to interact with the social media side? Tell me a little bit about what's going on now.
So over the years, I love like helping my clients with all things like social media, content creation, putting a strategy together. But my clients have always said to me, it's been so much more because of the way that I work, the way that I look at like my schedules, the tools that I use, time blocking. So I've always known it's been so much more than social media. So last year in March, I actually had like this realization that I can do so much more. And I wrote down like Vanisha OBM, which is an online business manager. So it's sort of overseeing like the entire business, looking at the team, looking at the operations, how it works, setting up project management system, email marketing dashboard, like cash flow forecast, interviewing, hiring. So in itself, there are so many things. And I've recently done the online operations manager, like certification, CPD accredited. But that's not something I've shouted about. Like I've got the email, I've passed, not really told family because it's hard. Like even as I say the words out loud, it's hard to describe and explain what I do because it's a high level of support. So the social media, the marketing side, that's still there. But this in itself is a second business. So if someone asks me to introduce myself, I do da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da. But it's actually figuring it out, but sort of also sharing, I can help you with X amount of things as well as the social media side.
Yeah, and it's a nice mix. They do kind of talk hand in hand with each other, I think. It's one thing you said off camera, which I loved, and I want to explore slightly, if that's okay. You mentioned sort of you've now got like a freedom of time with your work, and you said that you actually don't work that many hours, I think you said. Tell us a bit about that. What is that important to you, that freedom? And
yeah, that freedom, the time, the flexibility. And I feel like there's so many examples I can give, because when I went on holiday to Cornwall, like with family, and it was a bank holiday, funnily enough.
Oh, God damn those bank holidays.
It was a Sunday. I think we were coming back to Leicester to London. And I was having a conversation with him, and I was like, oh, going back to work tomorrow. And just, he was like, yeah, but all you do is play on Instagram. And you know what I said? I said, yeah, and I love it, because that's what I get to do. I don't have to wake up early, but I'm one of those, like, I get up at 5 or 6 because I want to, I choose to, I love running. Like, I'm currently half marathon training, I'm fitting my work around that, but I don't need to work that many hours, and I track my time. And it's funny because I think the other week I only worked like 8 or 9 hours.
Really? Wow.
And then I had a conversation with a friend, and he said, and it's funny because then I said to him, oh, last week I did 10. But then I had a conversation with somebody else in the industry from Manchester who's a really good friend. She said, you don't need to sort of compare, because the amount that you're getting done in that time, it is about having that balance. So...
yeah. And I think that's a crucial part to entrepreneurship, isn't it? I think, and owning your own business and doing your own stuff. And is that sort of one of the focuses that you're trying to implement when you become more of this online operations manager, is it?
Mm-hmm. Just helping like my clients and entrepreneurs, just like show that you don't need to be doing things like, you know, your set working hours. You can work so much more effectively, efficiently, just by having certain tools in place, your systems. So yeah, I'm quite excited about like doing that. I've already been helping clients with that. Like one of them emptied like her entire sort of brain into documents, and I set up her project management system. So it's actually showing how you can do that, getting so much of your time back, and just having that work-life balance we talk about so much.
I love that. And if you don't mind me asking, how's the half marathon training going? Yeah.
Really well.
Good.
Like
yeah.
I tell this to everyone, but I don't know if you can see, there's like a little bit of a scar left here, and my elbow. But last August, I had a really bad fall. Really bad fall, to the point where I think it was all of this side of my face. I couldn't really open my mouth. My lip was swollen. Ended up going like to A&E to get it checked out. But the funniest thing is, when I had the fall from training, I got up. I think it triggered the crash and emergency services on my phone.
Yeah.
And so, like, one person tried to like call me an Uber, another person tried to call me an ambulance. I said, no, I'm fine. Looked at my face, saw a little bit of blood, but I carried on running. I carried on running, and it's crazy. And I think, oh, maybe I'll write about it in a book one day. But that sort of fall and setback happened last August, and the scar on my face, like, it's still there, but I still sort of persevered, and it didn't stop me, because then I did a 100-mile challenge in November.
Wow.
And I think it was really stormy weather. It was horrible. And just the comeback from that, like, in answer to your question, it's going really, really well. I'm on like a bit of a training program right now, which is where I know exactly what days I need to do my long runs, my short runs, the rest. And it's at the end of September, so I'm like ready for it. Compared to what happened, like, I still persevered, literally got back up after a fall and carried on going. So feeling stronger than ever.
Fair play to you to get
Yeah.
yourself back up. I mean, I didn't know any of that had gone on. I mean, did you mind sort of getting back out in the running shoes after the fall? Did it put you off at all?
Yeah, even now, like, I still get scared because there's that sort of feeling in my head. And funnily enough, about a month ago, I fell again. Oh, no. Like, yeah, and my family, like, same place on my elbow. Family literally said to me, like, what's wrong with you? Was it your shoes? I said, you know what? I think it's me. I'm clumsy. Then another family member said, it's the UK, it's the pavement. I said, yeah, it is.
It's the potholes, yeah.
Let's blame them.
Oh, bless you. Are you running for charity, or is it just for a personal project?
Just like with family, like Robin Hood. So a family of runners. Got my dad's brother who's in like his 60s, somebody else. So there's like a whole group of us that are doing it. So
I love that.
Nice to do it together.
Well, keep us up to date. I'd love to know how you get on and what time you get and everything else. That'd be wicked to hear. Just before we play our final game, obviously this is the How I Failed in Business podcast. As much as we love hearing how successful you've been over the past coming up to 10 years. When is the 10-year anniversary, sorry?
Next, I'd say July, August time, so next summer.
Nearly there. Is there anything that's ever gone wrong? Has it always been plain sailing? Any failure stories that you can share with us at all?
No, I feel like there's been so many different ones. Like off camera, we were discussing, and actually on my drive, just thinking about different things that have happened. So when I've delivered like a social media training, got all nicely dressed up, but I arrived and just turned up in trainers, like I completely forgot my shoes. So just things like that. But then you think, you just carry on, don't you?
Own it.
Yeah.
You just own it, I think. That's the best way to do it. Yeah. Do you know what? One of my worst fears always is wearing the wrong attire. Genuinely, it overplays in my head. You know, like when you go into events, I hate it when events are very wishy-washy in terms of what to wear. You know, when they're like, oh, just if you want to wear black tie, wear black tie. If you want to wear lounge suits, wear lounge. No, tell me what I need to wear.
Tell me exactly what it needs to. Yeah.
I remember I went to an East Midlands Chamber Awards event a few years ago. Typical Rob Spence. I didn't read it top to bottom, left to right. Didn't read the invite. So me being me went, oh, it's an awards do. Must be black tie. I rocked up in black tie, full on tuxedo, dicky bow, and it was just a casual lounge suit affair. So everyone was there, open collar. I was like, oh my God. But you know what? I owned it. My saying it, you can never be overdressed. So I walked in there, puffed that chest out.
And they remembered you, I bet, as well.
Exactly.
Best
You know,
dressed.
listen, I made the effort. Everyone else didn't. But I genuinely hate it because we might be going to some awards later on this year, and like I'll be researching intently what everyone else has wore to the previous awards, because I don't want to look like an absolute plum, to be honest. But listen, we're going to play a quick game, and you might like this game because you're a social media queen, I'm going to say, if that's all okay. What are your thoughts on LinkedIn? Are you a LinkedIn fan? Are you against LinkedIn?
I really like LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It's funny because recently I've been using it more and more and just sort of sharing like the behind the scenes, what I'm up to, like different events, networking. But do you know what gives me, I don't know if it's the it, people just send you requests. Like even if I get so many requests and I don't accept all of them, but I have been accepting, then I send a message saying, hey, great to connect. No reply.
Yeah.
What is the point of sending me a request if you're not going to actually be my friend? Like,
yeah, talk to me.
what is the point?
I mean, it's better that than the friend request and then the sales pitch.
Yeah.
For something
still
that,
happened. Yeah.
oh, it's ridiculous. The amount of time we do telemarketing, the amount of times I get people offering us telemarketing services beyond a joke. But I will say, because we said again off camera, you know, I've been in business around Leicester for 7.5 years. You've been around for 9. It's only probably within the past 4 or 5 months I've kind of heard your name a bit more and seen you about. And I think that might be through LinkedIn, potentially. Go show the power of LinkedIn. But you said a magic word there that I loved. This next game is called Icky Linky. Okay. So I think LinkedIn is great. I think it's fantastic for personal brand, for connecting and for so on. But there are some posts that go out that just give you the ick, aren't there? Some people that are just very, I don't know the best way to describe it other than icky.
Icky.
Yeah, to be honest.
Polite way of saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I've hunted down a post, or I might have made up a post, and you've got to decide whether it's a true post, whether it was ever put out on LinkedIn, or if I've just completely made it up. Okay, there's no scoreboard for this. It's just a little simple game. I'm going to read out last week's, and we're going to reveal the answer to that one. So last week's Icky Linky said, I had to stop a Teams meeting today to check that the burning smell was definitely outside. Luckily it was, but unluckily for a neighbour 2 streets away, it was a different story. No injuries, but this home has been totally destroyed and 2 others damaged. It then goes on to say, it also reminds me how proud I am to work in an industry that helps individuals and companies recover from the worst days of their lives. #insurance, #London Market. Do you think that that's a real LinkedIn post, or do you think that's one that I made up?
Did you make that up?
Can you remember what you said?
No idea what I said.
Both Molly and Megan believe that that's a true LinkedIn post. So you think that I made that post up?
See, part of me feels like it was true, but at the end of it, I just don't like the way that it's hashtag and like.
Yeah.
Sure, like.
I can reveal that was actually a true LinkedIn post, and it came with a photo. It came with a burning house and someone trying to pitch insurance.
That's ridiculous.
Whilst his neighbour's house was burning down.
Did it work?
Right. Yeah.
Listen, I cannot reveal. Are you ready for this week's LinkedIn post? Okay, so again, you've just got to tell me whether you think it's a true story or whether I've completely made it up. Okay, you ready? The first job I had was in a strip club. I was 16. They thought I was 18. Not as a dancer, I was the DJ. Every Friday night, I'd sit in a dark DJ booth mixing music whilst chaos unfolded around me. Red lights, smoke machines, men throwing money they didn't have, massive fights, guys being thrown down the stairs. My parents thought I worked at a regular nightclub. I let them believe it. They paid £25 an hour. In 2002, that was decent money for a teenager. But the real education was worth millions. Here's what a strip club teaches you about business. I'll leave out the rest because it goes on a little bit. Do you think that's a true LinkedIn post or one that I've completely made up?
I feel like that's a really good made up one.
Do you think it's a made up one? Okay. Why do you think that's made up? Do you not think someone would put that on LinkedIn?
No, it just seems really inappropriate. Like, just too much.
Just
yeah, like,
Yeah,
Unless
for
they-
that reason, that's why I think it's been made up by you.
You think that's made up?
Yeah.
Are you sticking with your answer
Yeah.
there, Megan? Okay. So Megan thinks that's a false story. Are you happy? So do you think that's true or
no, I
false?
think false as well.
You think false. Okay. Molly, what are your views on this post?
Made up.
You think it's, why do you think it's made up?
Just, I don't think it's LinkedIn content.
Do you not?
No.
Okay. I've certainly put out a lot worse. We've also got Jack. I don't think he's on any of the on any of the cameras. Jack is doing some experience with us. Jack, do you think that's a completely made up LinkedIn or a real one? Jack thinks it's a true story. Okay. Well, I cannot reveal the answer this week. You'll have to stay tuned to make sure you hit the follow button, hit subscribe. When next week's episode comes out, the answer will be revealed. But I look forward to sharing that one with you. I think you'll enjoy it. But Vanisha, before we slowly wrap up, what's coming up next for you in the business? Obviously, you're pivoting slightly. Is there anything else big that's happening? Anything that you want to share with us at all?
I think it's just like we discussed before, just trying to figure out exactly what that looks like, because when it comes to social media, there's so many different titles and so much you can help with, but just getting really clear on exactly what that is, what the vision is, the mission, the values, all of that, and then maybe do like a rebrand, a whole new photo shoot. But I'm not rushing the process. Like, I'm still showing up, even saying that I don't know exactly what that title is. So I feel like there's a lot of exciting changes coming, but just taking it one step at a time.
Yeah. I don't think there's any harm in that, is there? I think some people do rush things ridiculously quick, and it ends up shooting you in the foot, and you've got to redo everything and so on and so forth. So I wish you the best of luck. I'm sure it'll go really well. For anyone wanting to get in touch with you for either social media support or, of course, for some operations management, how can they get in touch with you?
Come and find me on Instagram at I am Vanisha Patel, and on LinkedIn, Vanisha Patel as well. Same on Facebook.
Amazing.
I don't have a website, by the way.
No, that's absolutely
I've not
fine.
had a website for years, but
No.
it's that social media that's been quite...
The driver.
Yeah.
Can I ask, just before we do wrap up, has that hindered you at all? Has it held you back, or?
No, not at
No.
all, because I've been so consistent on the social media side. People have just sort of found me, recommended me. And I think it's the way that you show up as well, because
Yeah.
I've had so many referrals, recommendations, had meetings where they haven't even seen any of like my LinkedIn, my CV, but it's just that power of conversation, the way that you can articulate how you can help them, that confidence will shine through as well.
Yeah.
So you don't actually need to have a website.
I think you are 100% right. I think obviously a website is a bonus and a benefit, I guess. But if you look at how people sort of research and get their information now, they turn to social media.
No, I don't think I
Mhm.
really use websites or Google or anything. It's just straight to Instagram or
Yeah.
TikTok. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like restaurant, look at recommendations,
Yeah.
reviews,
Yes.
food bloggers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do the same. Whenever I'm looking for a restaurant, I normally turn to TikTok. So I want to see it. I want to see.
Yeah.
I wanna see what
And
I'm
so much you
getting.
can see as well.
And
so-
unless that website is absolutely incredible, you're not going to see it unless it is through a video
No.
or through a photo. And I think as well now, even if people are still using Google to do the searches, I think the SEO capabilities of social media being dragged through onto search results and utilizing AI now as well, actually, again, a website is a bit null and void, because you will see X posts, you will see Instagram posts
Yeah.
now, you'll see their Google My Business profile. You don't
Mhm.
necessarily need the website
No.
so much. But we do design websites. If you do need a website, let us know. Get in touch with
I mean, I might
websites.
get one in the future, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think they are important, but again, I don't think they're the thing that should hold you back
Mhm.
or make that
No.
decision in the grand scheme of things. But listen, Vanisha, it's been great chatting to you. I feel like we could speak all day. So thanks so much for joining us. We'll make
Thank
sure that we
you.
put all your links in the show notes and the description below. And of course, any social media content that goes out, we'll make sure we tag you in it as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for
Thank
having me. It's been
you.
great.
No, thank you. Right, shall we wrap up?
Yeah. And that's it for another episode of How I Failed in Business.
If you've got something out of today's story, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Sorry, no,
Okay.
I'm not. If you got something out of today's story, share it with someone who needs to hear that failure is part of the process.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Until next time, keep learning, keep building, and don't be afraid to fail forward.
So true, Queen. Slay.
Thank you.